Hello and welcome to our online training for the SOL writing examination, which is coming up just a few short days. A couple of things we'll be tackling in this training. We'll be looking at the actual schedule and the logistics of how things are set up, setting up rooms and what's expected there, testing procedures, what's expected for the proctor that's in the room and for the students that are taking the test, what to do about ELL and special education accommodations, how to keep your license, how to avoid irregularities, and any questions that you might have. So this year we are doing things slightly differently from in the past. Based on how things went last year, we are blocking out the full first two blocks of both days, March 5th and 6th, for SOL testing. This will be on a no deer, no storm schedule. I anticipate that the multiple choice testing will be done somewhere in the neighborhood of 10:30 to 10:45. Short paper may go fully until 11:35, but we will play it by ear. Overflow testing will be in the library as necessary, and we will dismiss students back to normal schedule as soon as we possibly can. In terms of setting up classroom, if your room is scheduled as a testing location, which means you're in House A, please consider what the optimal arrangement is for your seats. Look at the schedule I sent out. Do you have enough desks? If not, we can switch things. Let's look at this ahead of time. Are your seats in an optimal arrangement for students to be successful in the test? In terms of decorations and posters, the only thing that's really forbidden on this test is anything related to the writing process, grammar, punctuation, spelling tips and tricks, that sort of thing. If you have something that falls into that category, cover it up or take it down. If you're not sure, check with me. I'll be running around and checking out the rooms. The rest of this is looking at the procedures we'll be following, the policies that we're expected to adhere to, and the logistics of how we actually get all this done. So in terms of testing procedures and how the day will look, on the day of testing, if you are a proctor that is starting out the test during the 1-2 class, you need to report to the House A workroom by 8 o'clock that morning to pick up your testing materials. You'll also be signing your life away on a clipboard. Just kidding, it's just a clipboard. You'll be picking up the examiner's manual, which is actually just the pages that you need. I'm not going to give you the whole book that no one reads. Rosters for your test session, one for attendance, which you'll turn in, one for your own reference and keeping track of things. Test tickets, one per student. Pencils, scratch paper, any accommodations that students in your class might have, and of course mints, because those are super important. As best you can, once you have your materials, please get to your testing location. Do your best to set things up. Pass out paper, pencil, mints to get those set up at the desks so they're ready for when the students come in. In terms of getting logged into the test, this is really something that students should do. You shouldn't have to do this. It's on them. The vast majority of our students will be testing on their own Chromebooks or on a school loaner Chromebook. They know how to do this. It's not new. They did this with map testing, but they need to click on that Apps waffle button in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, choose Test Nav, choose Virginia. They do not log in as themselves. That's very important. If for some reason you are on a PC or laptop, same as you've seen in the past, the login is username SOL, password is SOL, and this will jump right into the TestNav application. Students should be doing this. You shouldn't have to worry about it. While you are getting set up, we'll have students in the holding area in the auditorium and cafeteria as normal. We may hold them there a little bit longer if necessary, but probably not. We want to get things started ASAP. Lined up in the hall, 350 kids is less than ideal. So we will be out in the locker bay, encouraging students to get where they need to be with only the things they need to have. Testing locations will be posted everywhere, shared ahead of time through English classes. None of this should be a surprise. When students get into your room, as soon as possible, get them in there, check them off on the attendance sheet, get them set up. By 8:35 or so, we should be getting going. We'll have people in the hallways. Please turn your roster for attendance into one of the hallway proctors and get going. If you have passes for a student to go to a different location, small group or ELL exempt, those will be explained to you on pickup. Once you have attendance, get going. If student does not have a Chromebook, step one, ask if it's in their locker. If it is, send them real quick. They can go get it. If you have a loaner, use those up. Make sure you get them at the end. Flag down a hallway monitor. we will have some extra devices on hand in House A. We will get one to you if we have one. If we run out, we will take the student with pencil, paper, and test ticket to a new location. You will no longer be responsible for that student's testing session. I don't see this as being a big problem. During MAP testing, we were worried about it. We had fewer than 25 students school-wide that had to go to an alternate location. So I'm pretty optimistic we'll be fine. Getting back in actual testing procedure. All your students are in. You've taken attendance. Everyone's got their Chromebook. Everyone's set up, ready to go. Reading the directions. These are found in the examiner's manual, the photocopies I'll be giving you. Please read these word for word. Don't improvise as terribly as they are written. Just go word for word. Work your way through it. It's painful at times. The Lipizzaner stallions are from Portugal, and they are trained show horses. Lipizzaner, Lipizzaner, Lipizzaner. Full disclosure, I have not actually looked at this year's manual. If that is not in this year's reading or writing instructions, I will be shocked. Your responsibilities during the test. Work the room. It's really just about monitoring and being present. It's not about you seeing which students on which question. It's walking the room, being around. Connecting students. We'll have hallway monitors and proctors to get students to the restroom, to go get a drink of water. When students, they've all been doing this for years, when they're done, they'll raise their hand. You walk over and stand awkwardly behind them while they ask to submit their test. Keep an eye on students that are finished. They know what the expectations are. None of this is new. They need to be sitting there reading a book until we dismiss to the next thing. In terms of what you're doing, it's important to balance your sanity with reality of the situation. Walking around the room straight for 3 hours is not ideal for sanity. Feel free to read a book. If you've got some papers to grade, that's fine. But sitting behind your desk for 2 hours, 3 hours, we're just setting ourselves up for problems. Students behaving inappropriately, potentially cheating, looking off each other's computers. We don't need that for anybody. One thing I forgot to put in here, we have people in the hallways. If you need a break, if you need to get a cup of coffee, if you need to use the restroom, if you just need to stretch your legs for a few minutes, please take advantage of that. We'll be sending people around, but you're not a prisoner of your own classroom. Like, we're going to be here to help you out. In terms of troubleshooting, very, very similar to how we did on MAP testing, but with some slight improvements. We'll have a troubleshooting Google Sheets document where you're going to be able to submit any problems you have with students getting kicked out of tests, any students that are off task. If a student is off task and isn't responding to you being proximate to them, giving them a gentle nudge, you can put in the spreadsheet, I will shut that student's test down remotely. And you can send them with a hall monitor to me, and we'll fix it. So just communicate directly in that doc. Keep that open throughout the testing time, because I will respond directly to you in the spreadsheet rather than running around and going class to class and interrupting the testing environment. I will just let you know students ready to go, and you can tell them to resume their test. In terms of closing out and wrapping things up, there's always a bit of an experiment with time. As soon as we are at a critical mass of 75-ish or fewer that are still testing, we will go classroom by classroom, sweep those students up, and take them to the library to resume. Where you can help on that. Students that are going to be relocated need to sign out of TestNav and choose Save and Continue later. If you need help with that in the moment, it's fine. We'll be around to help. But that will make things go a little bit smoother. Please collect all the materials you can. All scratch paper, all test tickets, anything involved in the test needs to be returned to me, especially pencils. Please bundle those back up in the rubber band so we can get those back. Student expectations. They need to bring a Chromebook, a pencil, and a book to read. Nothing else. All other possessions will be in their lockers. They need to work quietly looking at their own screens, raise hands with any questions, concerns, etc. And after completing the test, they need to read quietly. If you have students that are receiving accommodations, this will be a separate sheet in your instructions that you'll get at pickup. This is small group testing. We have a couple different locations for that. If there's audio as an accommodation, that's probably in one of the small group rooms. They'll have headphones on during the entire test. Even if they don't want it, they really are supposed to. If you need some support with that, let me know. We do have a few students with, graphic organizers. Those will be provided, dictionaries. And if it's a student with frequent breaks, I will let you know and we'll coordinate with hallway proctors to support. How to keep your license. People get concerned about this, and rightfully so. Any of us could lose our license if we don't follow the rules here. But the rules are simple. They really are. Don't help students on the test. That's really the gist of it. But ways to keep yourself out of hot water. Stick to the script, right? In the manual that I'm giving you is going to have the correct things that you're allowed to say if students have questions. Read the question carefully. Choose the best answer. Read the topic carefully. Write a short paper about it. Refer to the help icon. That's it. If you're stuck, let me know. I'll come help. Please do not touch student devices, even if you're trying to help. Hands-off devices. The only things that you can help out with on a test is navigation through the test, telling them how to click left and right, how to use the program. Tone is everything. Big difference between are you ready to submit and are you ready to submit? Don't let tone get out of your way or get in your way. Don't share anything about the content of the test with members of your CLT, with your fellow teachers, with your spouses, anybody. It's secure material. Regularities are really something that influences student performance. If you're concerned that anything fits in these categories, please let me know immediately. These do happen. Sometimes I will determine it's a regularity and we'll report it to the county. A lot of times it's not, but better safe than sorry. Some examples here: student creating disruption or distraction, student cheating. If you feel like a student's getting improper assistance, not getting their accommodations or getting ones they're not supposed to have, please let me know. Pick up the white phone, flag down a hallway monitor. The worst case scenario in any situation here, aside from losing your license, is that we have students that have to take a test again. Nobody wants that. I know this was fast. I'm bound by the 15-minute limit on Screencast-O-Matic here. If you have any questions or concerns, please track me down. Send me an email. Send me a text. Carrier pigeon. Before the test is preferable to during, but anytime. There's no such thing as a silly question. We're all in this together. Thank you for watching so far, and have a wonderful day.